Hello and welcome to the Happy, Healthy, Strong podcast. This is a podcast dedicated to helping you live a happier, healthier, and stronger life. Building a life that you love starts with you owning your health and intentionally creating the best version of yourself. So if you're looking to better understand how proper nutrition, daily movement, mindset work, and strength training can help you create a life full of happiness and health, then you are in the right place. I generally hope that the tips, tricks, and information that we share will be the catalyst for change. I'm your host, Adam Lane. It's time to dive in. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Happy, Healthy, Strong podcast. I'm your host, Adam Lane. With me today, now, three-time guest.
Whew, man.
Stacey, we keep
People are going to get sick of it after a while. You better watch it.
Stacey Caler from the Wellness Refinery in Roscoe.
Yes, thank you.
You're back again.
Yes.
Stacey, you do lots of things. We'll link up all the stuff. I want to get right down to the nitty gritty.
Yes, let's do it.
Supplements or snake oil?
Yeah, you came up with that title, man. I love it.
The supplement industry has grown huge.
Awesome. More knowledge.
Which is great.
Ish. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But people get so confused. I was talking to a group of buddies the other week in the way of like, oh, what do I need to take for this or that? And like stuff can get so expensive so quickly. And, you know, people are going down the anti-inflammation route. Do I need to take a multivitamin? You know, what about protein powders? What do I whey? Do I go casein? Do I go collagen? Man. Do I need to, do I need to, you know, there's so many different, you know, do I need the vitamin D? Do I not need the vitamin D? There's so much going on.
Yeah.
When you think of supplements, because we sell supplements.
Yeah.
We sell snake oil.
Well,
you can walk out there.
We don't sell snake oil because
I'm saying me.
No, I'm
you,
saying
though,
you. No,
you
but
know.
you know what? You have knowledge of your product. You have knowledge. You're not going to give someone who doesn't need it. Right? You got to find out. You know your people.
Yeah.
You know what they're missing. You have a conversation. I'll tell you the biggest thing that I deal with, and I'm gonna just put this out there, and I'm probably gonna get blasphemied for it or whatever you want to call it. When you hear some of the most amazing podcasts, and I'm saying this, and here we are talking about a podcast, you have to remember that we are talking to listeners of all walks of life, body shapes, health, and all that stuff.
Yes.
So
different genders,
everything,
smaller, bigger, absolutely.
Yeah. So when you hear about supplementation, if you go down the TikTok route or whatever social
usually
media,
where I start. Yes.
Lord have mercy.
What does TikTok say about this?
I have no idea. So one thing you have to remember is we are talking to the public. Okay. You have to find you. Okay. That's like taking an average of 2,000 people and saying that you're that average. Well, no, you're not. You're different. You're you. Yeah. Find your program. Yeah. Look specifically for things that affect and are what you need. Deal with a healthcare provider, or find a functional provider or a health coach or whatever it may be, and get the labs, talk about things, have the conversation, and then work with them. Yes. Now, some people, they know their body's pretty daggone good. And that's, I love those people, man. That's awesome. You still have to remember that not everything is for everyone.
Yes.
So don't go down that rabbit hole. That's, I think, where snake oil comes in. You know, you can find some of these amazing functional providers, some of these great biohackers and such like that. And they'll say, hey, get this. It's going to make you better.
Yes.
And you may take it and it don't make you better.
Yeah. The word biohacker just is always interesting.
Isn't that fun?
Oh, man.
Isn't that fun? I love it. There's biohacker colleges now.
Well, and it's crazy because I'm very interested in some of these things.
Oh, me too, man.
And I will look and I will research them. Then all of a sudden my Facebook and Instagram feed are nothing but ads for these different things.
You got to be careful what you look up, man.
And
believe me.
It's just, and they just make it.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
AI is amazing. Yeah. It really is. But you really got to make sure that you're only really reading research-based, and make sure that you understand that I'm not that bodybuilder age 25 who has a testosterone level of 9,000 and has no body fat. Yeah. That's not me. Yeah. You know, I'm this person over here, and this is what's going to work for me. Yeah. So, okay. So many options on the shelf. You gotta find out what actually helps, money. I mean, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
You can,
They can get very expensive.
dude, man, I have people that would spend $400 or $500 a month on supplementation. That's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, are they eating?
Yeah.
You know, and then you got to make sure you're not hurting yourself, harmfulness. So what can supplements do? I think in my measly little bit of education in the scheme of things of all these powerful people out there, I really think supplementation is there to fill a gap. Okay. Now, I am not a great eater all the time. I try to be a great eater some of the times, but I'm not. I mean, I work a lot. I work long hours. I don't take breaks in between patients very much. So my food is going to be, you know, I might grab a protein bar. I might have some yogurt, these kind of things. And then I don't usually eat much past 6 o'clock. I eat very, you know, and if I don't get home before at 6 o'clock, I usually don't eat much. You know, I might have something very little.
Wow.
So
well, good for you with that.
Because it's not, because I'm protein deficient.
Well, people will go the other route and they will gorge themselves.
Yeah, which is not good.
Which I have done before because I am starving.
Well, it's all about digestion and being able to turn it up. But so what the point of that is that I supplement. I supplement a bit. I supplement my my fruits, veggies, and greens. I do a lot of my additional supplementation that I know I'm not getting through my foods. That's what I think supplementation can be a force to reckon with. Another thing supplementation can help is when you are treating a specific condition. You know, targeting blood pressure, targeting cholesterol, targeting depression, anxiety, these kind of things, targeting gut health, all these things. I think you can be very, very supportive as long as you're doing lifestyle changes as well. Yeah. Because remember, lifestyle's everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't take a supplement and then chase it with a beer. I mean, sorry.
I mean, you could, but
no. Well, you're right. You're right. But should you?
Yes.
You know, no.
Yeah.
But you also can't take a supplement and then eat a freaking large pizza and expect your cholesterol and your blood pressure not to be affected, or your blood sugar for that matter. You have to remember that if you're going to do supplementation, you have to couple it with lifestyle. That's nutrition, exercise, stress management. Are we thinking of anything that we talked about before?
Yes.
And rest. So supplementation can be monumental. When do supplements become snake oil? Like what we said, we're not targeting ourselves. We are not focusing on what our individual body needs. We're also following trends, like we all have done. I mean, I have done that. Huge doses of supplementation because somebody said that they did it in a huge dose. I've got like vitamin D. Some people do large doses of vitamin D. There's good and bads about all that stuff. You have to understand what you're doing to your body. Large dose vitamin C. I don't think people realize, but if you do a large dose vitamin C, you're going to be pooping your brains out. I mean, that's kind of a thing. You know, that's actually called loading. I mean, to clear and to kind of treat a virus, you can mega dose vitamin C with very restrictive things in working with your provider. Then there's snake oil supplementation that are filled with fillers. And we've seen those, right? We've seen those. It is just like food, people. Less ingredients, the better. Okay, without a doubt. So kind of make sure that you are working with someone, or at least researching, and then identifying what your body actually needs. So don't hyperdose. Don't buy junk. You're putting it. I mean, what is that? You are what you eat. Well, you are what you eat.
Can I? So that the junk stuff is very interesting to me, and I think it's very misleading to people, and it's hard for me because I'm not. We sell supplements, and the only reason we sell supplements is that I feel like we've done a very good job vetting.
Very good.
You know what we sell and why we sell it, and it's a very lean list. You've done the research. We feel like we've done the research.
Amen.
And there are still people, and it's hard to argue, and I don't even want to argue because I just want them in the gym. If they're in the gym, you know, hey, that's my lane right there. Like, hey, you know, the strength, like I'm not a nutritionist. I don't claim to be, I'm not an expert with hormones. I don't claim to be, you know, but I can teach somebody to squat pretty well. and put together a pretty decent program, around that, for whatever. However, when people go to Walmart and they're like, oh, I just get my protein there because I can get a 9-gallon bag,
for $19.95.
$14,
14, that's even better.
It's just like, oh, look at that. And I'm just, and I don't know, I struggle with it because I don't know what to say with it. Be like, hey, it's not really but you talked about the financial things and things do get expensive. Which is, I totally understand because both of us have tried all the supplements through the years. And, here with them, like sometimes I mean, there's still things I take. I took some fish oil this morning and took a multivitamin this morning.
Thank you.
I got that, and I put a lot of.
Yes, I saw what you're trying to chew on.
Yes, within my little shake.
This is his shake, you guys.
This is fantastic.
It's solid. That's not a shake. That's like the Dairy Queen test.
Well, can I tell you more so this is funny. I was researching something in the way of like gut health stuff. Yeah. And there a product came out called Colon Broom, I think. Is
Colon Broom.
So have you any experience with this?
I have not used it, but I have some patients that swear by it, which is awesome.
So it's interesting. So I dove down a little bit. Like their main ingredient is psyllium husk. So what we just talked about, which is just like fiber. It's awesome. Very natural, like good way to like. But like I read, and it was like a selling point for their we have psyllium husk and just. Psyllium, like you can literally just get straight psyllium husk.
Yes.
Dirt cheap.
Yes.
That
fiber is so amazing.
And it's so great. So I can see people having success on this product, but not because of the product, but because of this one piece of the product.
Well, because they're adding something that's going to help the gut motility and overwhelmingly treat the biome. Yes. Which is awesome.
So I thought that was interesting where I think because
Walmart.
Well, and again, you can, so that's where I think the education piece comes with it. I can't think of any really great so Walmart, oddly, to their credit, has gotten better with some of their.
I have to tell you, them and Meyer is now carrying some primo brands.
Really?
Yeah, I was kind of shocked. I'm like, going, what? And I was in there just kind of getting another gander because I try to peruse our local establishments to see what they're offering. Yeah. So I can say if I have a patient that doesn't want to wait to do ordering or whatever, I use a platform called FullScript. If they don't want to do that, that's absolutely fine. Yeah. I'm going to say, look, then stick with these guidelines. 3 guidelines for supplementation. Less ingredients is best. Non-GMO, gluten-free, vegan. And if you can find a product out in the world or out on the streets, I should say, physician or third-party tested. Third-party testing is really important because that means it's gone up against the grain. Yeah. But you want to be really, really, really careful with supplementation. Again, don't put mud in your gut. First of all, some of these things you won't absorb because you have gene mutations, and we're not going to go down that journey. That's a whole nother journey. Yeah. But so what supplements are worth taking? So I usually stick with a foundation. I try to, and this is crazy, I know it, but I try to keep my patients initially on a foundation of 5 or 6 or less supplements, because let's face it, if you're brand new into health and wellness and this is your journey and you want to be a go-getter and you want to do all these things, you're going to think that you want to take 22 supplements a day. You don't. Yeah. You really don't. You want to start and build your foundation. Build it upon a solid ground, because then anything we add when necessary, like a viral component, or you find out that you have Hashis or whatever, anything that might need a little bit extra kicker because of something that's happened in your life, you can add it upon this foundation and it'll work productively with it. Yeah. So vitamin D3, K2. You want to have a rider with your D3 because of the way the body absorbs it, hangs on to it, pockets it in the bone. This is your immune health support. And it also, like I said, can help with mental health, which I don't know anybody who don't need that. Yeah. Where you start really kind of comes down to getting some really good solid labs. If you're low, you're going to start higher initially, and then you come down to a baseline. My foundational number for usually my patients that have some level of vitamin D, usually about 5,000 IU. Make sure it's clean. Then magnesium glycinate or L-theanine.
Can I add to your vitamin D thing? Yeah. We made mention, I can't remember, was this podcast or previous podcast? No, I think it's this one, where like just because you supplement doesn't mean Oh yeah, it was this one. Jeez, too much conversation.
I know. I'm sorry.
Like just because you take a supplement doesn't mean that you want to chase it with a beer and whatnot.
Yeah.
So like, just because you take vitamin D doesn't mean you don't go outside. Like,
yeah, right.
I
the
think
sun is different now. Remember, we've got a whole different environment now, but you do want to get as much sunlight, or at least blips of sunlight.
Yeah.
Now, look, I don't mean go out there and lay naked in 90-degree weather with the sun baking your body, because hello, we do have other concerns there.
Yes, absolutely.
But blips of time where you can go out and actually see the sun, especially if you work in an office or if you're living more of a sedentary lifestyle, get outside.
Yes.
If you want to be sedentary, sit outside under a tree and get diffused sunlight, whatever it takes. Right. Just because you're replacing D doesn't mean you don't need sunshine. But I'm going to tell you, us Illinoisans, whatever you want to call us, we live in the Midwest. And I don't know if you've been here for very long, but
45 years, but yes.
Illinois weather is not always... we can't always count on it.
Yes. No, okay? You're right.
So you have to remember that when you go on a D3, K2 or ADK supplementation, it's every day.
Yeah.
Rain, summer, or I should say summer, winter, fall, whatever, spring. You want to be on it because we have prolonged periods of gray. We have prolonged periods of where we're locked in our house, hibernation. Yep. So you want to make sure you support yourself. The other hormone, or I'm sorry, my hormones, my mind. The other supplementation would be magnesium glycinate or L-threonate, glycinate, and L-threonate crosses the blood-brain barrier, which is amazing for brain function and health. Glycinate is going to help more of your muscle recovery, stress. Also can be very aidful in sleep. Yep. Citrate is more.
I take that at night.
Yeah, I do too. I'm like a freak about it. Citrate is going to be more of your bowel management, like for constipation without stimulation, or a stimulant, I should say. And that's lovely as well if you're running through bouts of constipation. What's up?
What's the natural calm? Are you familiar with
Natural calm? Yes, I am.
I remember.
Oh yeah.
A cheaper version of magnesium, and if you overdo that, holy
you're going to have some bowel movements. If you
you.
overdo glycinate, even you can have some bowel response.
Okay.
It's magnesium. The other one is omega 3s. Omega 3s, fish oils, EPA, DPA, DHA. These ones. Why are omegas so amazing? Well, they're a anti-inflammatory. So huge for muscle recovery, pain, joint pain, these kind of things. Also, brain function. I mean, you guys do realize that the brain is fed by a cholesterol component. So that's kind of a big deal. All these people on these statins, and they're wondering why we're having such a high increase in dementia and Alzheimer's and Parks and all that stuff. We got to feed our brain. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying LDLs and triglycerides are good for your brain by any means. I'm saying that you've got to have good, healthy cholesterol so the brain can get what it needs. Also, heart health. LDLs are a negative component of the cholesterol panel. And if you have high LDLs, omega 3s can target that. Yeah. So rather than jumping on a statin. B complex. Oh, I love B complex. And I would say stick with a methylated B complex. That way, if you have a gene mutation, you're more apt to absorb it and not waste your money. Energy, mental health, stress recovery. It also can help with a component of just the gut health as well. So methylated B complex, probiotics. Now, probiotics are awesome. You were talking about some. You got to be sure that you're not being aggressive in your probiotics. Now, probiotics are awesome. I love them because let's face it, we all have some fine gut thing going on, and it's because we eat what we eat. But if you are going to start a probiotic, it's best to go mild initially and let the body adjust, because probiotics are healing, so they're going to feed the normal flora, which is the natural bacteria that we have. And just food for thought, moms give their infants in utero their microbiome. That's how they build, right? So you want to make sure that if you are a mother, or if you are attempting to, or you're thinking about it or whatever, you want to make sure that you are doing some very good solid probiotics so you can have a gut health for your child that you are trying to provide for. probiotics can be highly constipating initially. So that's where your psyllium husk comes in, or another form of fiber. So you want to make sure that you're staying well hydrated. Imagine that hydration. We've talked about that before. Stay hydrated and then try to eat as clean as possible. Don't sabotage what you're doing and all this money that you're spending on supplementation, which shouldn't be a ton. But if you're going to eat, like I said, a ton of gluten that's going to cause inflammation, then you're really sabotaging that what you're so striving to do. Just cut it back, people. I'm not saying, and I would if I could, but I'm not gonna say that you should be gluten-free. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is pick your punches. You know, if you're going to have a pizza, then have some pizza, you know, but don't have 15 pieces of pizza. And you better drink a lot of water because you're not only just dealing with gluten, but you're dealing with all the sodium and the grease and everything else. But I'm done with that talk. Okay. What you don't need in supplementation. So again, we go back to the fads, the trends, the TikTok, the things. You don't want to do quick anything because I don't know if you've known this, but we've been around for a while. Was that quick? I mean, granted, I feel like I was 12 last night, but no, I'm not. And it takes time for things to heal. It takes about 90 plus days for a body to respond overwhelmingly to a supplementation change. So don't think that you're going to lose weight in 2 weeks because you went on a fat burner pill. Okay. Keep that in mind. You got to do the work, lifestyle. Detoxification teas, powders and such, all making these claims that they're going to make you feel so much better in a day. I mean, that would be like me, say, Adam, I'm going to come to the gym for 3 days. And in 3 days, I want to have biceps like my assistant, Kelly.
Just like that.
She's got rock star biceps. I want you to make that happen. In 3 days, I want muscles. How's that work?
Yeah.
You know, or in 3 days, I want to have a six pack, not a beer, people, on a gut.
Yeah.
Okay. I want my abs to be six pack in 3 days. Where's that pill? Yeah. Ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. Supplements with proprietary blends. Now we started the conversation off with saying, look, less is more. The less ingredients that they have, the cleaner the product's most likely going to be. Proprietary blends are very, some of them can be fairly transparent, but some of them are without transparency. And what I mean by that, they can put a proprietary blend of, or a certain name of a company and then proprietary blend. They may list everything, but you won't know how much of what's in there. Yeah. At the very bottom or in the middle of the program, it could say, or the proprietary list, it could say dog food. How much dog food's in my supplement? You know what I'm saying? So keep it simple. Yeah. Keep it simple. Mega doses. Like, again, we already talked about mega doses. Don't do it without assistance or guidance from your provider. How to choose supplements for you specifically. Again, the rules: non-GMO, gluten-free, vegan, and third-party testing. Kind of a big deal. And remember too, you have to couple everything you do with lifestyle, nutrition, exercise, rest, stress management. I love this.
Can I highlight that really quick? Because I do think that I know I've done this. I'm assuming other people have done this, where like all of a sudden we can make excuses for, because I take this supplement, I can do this activity. So it's like, well, hey, I don't need to eat healthy because I'm taking berberine after I, to help my blood sugar. Is berberine bad? No, berberine can be great, but that doesn't mean that you eat a bunch of Twinkies and be like, oh, I'm just taking berberine now.
Because it manages my blood sugar.
Yes. Or hey, I don't have to eat healthy, lean protein sources. I'm just going to supplement with
protein bars and protein shake.
Absolutely. And
isn't that a thing?
Well, and I think, I kind of made a joke earlier, but hey, I don't need to go outside. I'm supplementing with vitamin D, where it's yes, the supplement with vitamin D is important. Everything that you just discussed is important, but that's not an excuse.
No, it's
for not.
Agreed.
Like,
you have to do the work.
Yeah.
I mean,
which is
I don't know anybody who does.
So that's why you brought it back to those 4 things. So,
yeah. So, the other thing is if you don't have a provider that you can have this conversation with, find one that will have that conversation with you, because it's important that you remember that you're in charge of your health. When you lose control and stop being accountable for your own health, then what's the point?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you have a provider that you're working with and they will draw some micronutrient, vitamin structure labs, vitamin D, omega, Bs and these kind of things, and they will go over magnesium and everything, and they'll show you, hey, this is where what it says, this is where you at. Then you can also approach your supplementation per you.
Yeah.
Not per the public, but per you. Yep. And I love individualized approach. Like what you had talked about the gym, coming in here and taking, there's John who's got zero body fat and has been working out for 15 years and is a rock star. Mary Beth comes in. She's a 35-year-old mother of 27,000 and she's only has 30 minutes to work out because that's all her grandmother or her mom will watch the kids for. Yeah. So you need to target that. She's also 35 years old and has had, 5 kids. So her body's different. You got to, and so this is the same way with supplements, people. We all eat differently. We all do things differently. And that's kind of a big deal. Yeah. So, food, test, brand and making sure they're clean and then making sure that you are working with somebody that can help you to understand and listen to you. You got to be heard. Yeah. There is such a thing as just being able to communicate. And that's kind of a big deal. Bottom line, they're powerful. Supplements can be hugely impactful in a body. Yeah. I mean, I love my supplements. I count on them because I know how I am. Yeah. But I'm also, I don't try to put any more junk in my body than I possibly can. Do I forget to take my supplements? Yes. Ask any one of my patients. They will see my bucket of supplements on my desk when we're talking and they'll look at them and I'll tell them straight up, these are not even from today, people. Yeah. These are from yesterday. I totally forgot my supplementation because I got wrapped up in my world, but every day is a new day. Yeah. 365 days a year, I can get up in the morning and I can succeed. Yeah. 365 days, I can get up in the morning and I can fail. But best bet, 365 days a year, I can get up and do it all again. And I can get it right that time. Yeah. So keep trying. Snake oil is a thing. I do believe, and I love that you put this down, that if we don't monitor what we put in our body, we could be sabotaging the outcome. Yeah. And we could be hurting ourselves. Yep. So certain supplements can lead to damage and you have to know these things going into it. So be smart, research, not just Google or TikTok, but research in a way that you're researching for yourself. Yeah. And then go in with that gouge of information and talk to your provider and say, hey, look, these levels say this to me. What do you think about that? And if you're not finding the answers from your provider, find someone who can. There's a lot of people out there with the expertise and the knowledge base that can help you walk the walk of wellness. Yeah. Well, and I would add the two things there. And I love the provider piece because I think a lot of times you might not know if a supplement is working or not. Like, I think there are people that are follow up, man. And well, if you take a supplement, there's a good chance you should feel different, eventually better, something. And eventually. And so like, there's a timeline on that. Like you don't quite know how long it could be a month. It could be multiple months. Like we don't really know. Again, it's different per person. Yep. Usually 90 days is when you're really looking to get another lab draw to see if you made the impact. Yeah. Well, and so there's the other thing too. So one, you're going to feel it. Hey, oh my gosh, I feel better. I have more energy. I don't hurt as much, Or two, hey, you get that lab done and hey, we were looking at this marker. This marker was low, but now I retest and like, oh, now the marker's up here. Yep. We're working. What we're doing is doing. Or if it's not up there, what are we doing wrong? What are we doing wrong? Right. What are we missing? Yes. And that you can see that in life in every facet, right? I mean, you see somebody working out the same way for 100 days and they have no change. And you're like, we need to tweak this workout. Yeah. Yeah. And we need to tweak things as we go. And I think that just is a benefit of us being able to change. Yeah. Because we're creatures of habit. Yeah. Well, and I think as people get older, changes happen. Yeah, that's a strong statement. Let's not even get down that road, man. Forget that road. That's a different podcast right there. But like you just because you did whatever supplement as when you're 25, that doesn't mean that it's going to work the same when you're 45. I will vouch for my wife right now that she's going through many different things right now, hormonally at the age of almost 46 than what she did 20 years ago. Yeah. The same. So I do. I mean, it's crazy. We all feel different phases of life. I can see that even with kids though too. Can't you see that? Mm-hmm. I see children change as their chemicals change. They go through, puberty and stuff like that. And all of a sudden their world is turned upside down and they don't even understand it. And I think half the time the parents are just trying to survive this turmoil because, man, that can be freaky.
Yeah.
So you have to acknowledge that the food is going to play a big part in that. But also, it's not too young to, granted, I would rather you get your children's supplementation and through their nutrients. Yeah. Through the nutrition. But then again, we also have kids that are nutrient deficient, and you're going to have to find a way to help them through that. Yeah. So don't give them junk.
Yeah. So to summarize, no junk. And that's hard to do.
Clean,
but
clean supplementation.
Research. Yep. I love the NSF certified stuff. That's what we've done the Thorn stuff for forever. And they have,
all the non-GMO,
which I appreciate,
gluten-free. Yep. All that stuff. And then make sure that it's third-party tested. If you can find it, it's hard to find that because it's high dollar. Yep. They pay extra for that. And then make sure that you're treating yourself, not your buddies. Yeah. Because you and I are different. Yeah. I would be on different supplements than you would be. Just being a female. Mm-hmm. So it's important.
We're not the same.
No, like-minded, but not the same.
Yes. Very true.
Which is awesome. That's it, man. That's what I got.
Stacey, people want to follow you, learn more information.
So
where do they go?
I do have a website, www, or how many W's with that? I don't know. Wellness Refinery clinic.com. And then they can also reach out. I'm in Roscoe at 815-979-2126. Text me. That's the easiest way. I'm going to be honest with you guys. And even if you just want to have a phone call or a conversation just to see if we're a good fit, which I highly recommend, we can work out something there too. So thank you.
Is there Facebook, Instagram? Because obviously you are an influencer right now, Stacey.
I got to tell you, I'm not a big social media right now because
look at you now.
But it's a lot of management. So I'm having my assistant Kelly look at that right now, just so people can reach out in different platforms. Because you're right. Social media is a thing. Yeah. I think I'm so old. I forget that. But, I also, if they can't get me on the phone, if they've missed me there, I have no problem with people just swinging by the clinic and stopping in and talking to Kelly. And if I'm available, I can come out and say howdy, because, the goal is to just have a conversation. Yeah. So, yeah. Once I get my social media up and running, I'll let you know.
There we go.
Thank you.
There we go. Stacey, thanks again. Appreciate it. Listeners, thanks for listening. We'll catch you on the next one. That's all we have for you today. If you have any questions or want to chat or interested in seeing what we're up to in between episodes, head over to Instagram and Facebook and follow @OakStrength. Also check us out at oakstrength.com. If you like this episode, please share it with someone who wants to live happy, healthy, and strong. If you really liked it, subscribe and review the Happy, Healthy, Strong podcast on iTunes or Spotify. Be sure to tune back in next week and remember to keep owning your health.